Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Anton here, and we're back with a brand new Discord tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how to add a simple cooldown system for your commands. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go, and I have a simple bot template set up already. It's very simple. The only thing I've done so far was I just imported the Discord.js library. I instantiated the client class. I imported my config.json file because I have my bot token stored inside here, and I don't want to put it out here in the main file. And that's all I've done so far, and of course handled the ready and message events. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add cooldowns to specific commands, and the reason why you'd want to do that is to prevent people from spamming certain cooldowns that might require a lot of let's say for example API calls. Like let's say if you have a cooldown that displays a random image, you definitely want, you have a command that displays a random image, you want to make sure that you are limiting that command so people are not spamming it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply do if message dot content to lowercase. We're just gonna handle a couple of basic commands. So we're gonna say we have the fun command, and we're also gonna do else if message dot content dot to lowercase, and we're gonna have a simple misc command, and of course we can have a bunch of other commands as well. We're only going to do a couple for now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new file, and I'm going to call it commands.js, and inside this file we're going to do a couple things. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, where's my mouse? Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called, actually I'm going to just do var commands, go new map, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of my commands inside here. Okay, now keep in mind we are using a map, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to set the key value pairs, where the key is the command name and the value of that key is going to be the cooldown time. Okay, so if you don't know what a map is, it's basically just a data structure where we have a bunch of key value pairs. Okay, every key is unique and every key maps to some value. Okay, now there's different ways. There's only two main ways that you can initialize your map. We can either pass in an array of arrays inside the constructor, like what I'm about to do now. So the fun command is going to map to 10 seconds. The misc command will map to 20 seconds. Of course, you can have a bunch of other commands, like the play will also be 20 seconds. The Q command would be like 30. Let's do 25. Alright, that should be fine. Alright. Cool. So we have this map. We could have also done it this way. I could have initialized, or I could have added key value pairs to the map like this using the set command. That will set the key fun to map to a value of 10. Okay, remember the value, these values over here are the cooldown time. Okay, the amount of time that we're going to delay the command from being able to be ran again. Okay, so before I go on to the next point, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. So this is how we're going to keep track of which users are on cooldown. Okay, we're basically going to create another map, and that map is going to have a bunch of key value pairs where the key is the name of the command, and that key is going to map to its own map. The reason why is because, okay, so let me show you guys this. So pretend this is the map, right? I have the key fun. This fun key maps to another map. Okay, pretend this object is a map. Now all of these keys are the ID of the user that invoked the command, and the value is going to be the date and time. It's going to be a date object. It's going to be the date on when they invoked the command. Okay, so this allows us to keep track on when they use the command. So if they try to use the command again, we're going to tell the user that they have this many seconds left before they can use the command again. Okay, and likewise for the miss command, I have as well for that, and we can just, and obviously this map is going to, we're going to add values to it programmatically, not hard code it. But I just wanted to show you how we're going to structure it. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new map called command cooldown, and I'm just going to initialize the same way with a 2D array or an array of array. So remember, each key is going to have its own map as a value. So all of your commands, and of course you don't have to hard code it like this. You could just like use some loop, go through all of the keys over here and initialize it, but I'm just going to hard code it for simplicity. Okay, cool. Now that we have this, let's go ahead and create a function inside this file, which is going to handle our commands. So before I do anything else, let me go ahead and just add these to the global module.exports. Well, it's not really global, but let's just add this so we can import them into our bot.js file. So is it commands, command cooldown, and then we're gonna say commands just like that. Okay, perfect. So I can just console log commands as well as command cooldown, and if I execute, you're going to see that the map is being displayed. And you can see that in the second map we have the commands, the key mapping to their own map, which is going to keep track of all of the users that have invoked the command. Okay, so what we're going to do is whenever the user invokes the command, we're going to add them to the command, to the inner map. Okay, right over here. We're going to add their ID to it, so that way every single time they try to use the command again, we're going to check if their ID is in that map, and if it is, we're going to just display a message that they're on a cooldown and how many seconds left they have to wait before they can use it again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create another function called handler, and this function is going to take in 2 parameters for now. Okay, if you need more, depending on how you want to implement this, you can specify other parameters. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say if command cooldown, so we're referencing this map over here. This map is going to keep track of all the cooldowns. We're going to first get the command. We're going to get the map of whichever command that they invoked. So if they invoked Q, we're going to get the value of the key Q, which is Q's map. Okay, and what we're going to do next is, since this is going to give us a map, it's going to return a map, we're going to call .get on that map, and we're going to wait, not .get, we're going to do .has, and we're going to check if that inner map, right, we're going to check if that inner map has the author's ID, and if it does, what that means is they did invoke the command. Okay, so if they invoke the command, we want to send the response back. So we're going to handle this last, actually. Okay, let's say if this condition is false, that means that they did not use the command. So what we're going to do is we're going to check which command that they invoked. So if the command is fun, or let's say if the command is misc, and etc. Okay, so if it's the fun command, what we're going to do is we're going to say handle command, so do all the things you want to do. So I'm just going to say message.child.send fun command. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the user's ID to the map that the fun key maps to. Okay, so that's this map over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's see, command cooldown dot get command. So this command here is going to be either fun, misc, play, q, or whichever command that you pass in from over here. So it's going to get, if we use the fun command, it's going to get the fun key, the value of the fun key, and then we're going to go ahead and set message.author.id. So we're setting the key, and it's going to map to the date object, which is going to be the date that they initialize, that they invoke the command. Okay, now we're not done yet. What we need to do is we need to use a set timeout function to delay, so that way, once that cooldown is expired, we're going to remove them from the command cooldown map. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys how this looks like real quick. So let me console.log the command cooldown map. All right, so let's just say fun. Oh wait, I'm not using nodemon. Wait, whoops, wait, no, it's supposed to be nodemon. I don't know what I just did. Okay. Oh wait, whoops, one more thing. I need to call it from here. So let's take this function and add it to the module.exports. And we're gonna import it from here, like that. I mean, we don't really need to import these. We just need to import handler. We're gonna say handler, message, and fun, like that. Okay, so let's go over here, fun command, and you're gonna see that inside the map, the command cooldown map, the fun key, its map has our ID and the date and the time that we invoke the command. Okay, so we haven't done anything else yet, or we haven't added the actual cooldown. Okay, so the command will still work. All right, actually no, it won't right now because it's going to check over here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a simple function up here, and this function is just going to wrap the set timeout function. Okay, this function is responsible for removing the user from the map once the cooldown time has passed, and the amount of time is going to be whatever we declared up here. Okay, so the set timeout function takes in two parameters. It takes in a callback function to execute after the amount of time has passed, and it takes in the amount of time in milliseconds. Okay, so we're going to get the appropriate time from the commands map. So we're going to do commands.get command. So that's going to grab whichever value, whichever key that we pass in. So if it's Q, it's going to be 25. And we need to multiply it by 1,000 because the parameter is supposed to be in milliseconds. Okay, and what we're going to do once, let's say 10 seconds pass, is we're going to reference the command cooldown map. We're going to get the appropriate map. So let's say if it was the fun command, we're going to grab fun, and we're going to go ahead and delete the author's ID from that inner map, just like that. And we're just going to send a simple message, and we're going to say message.member. So this will mention the user. Cooldown has expired for command. All right, and we're going to call this function immediately right after when we're going to call the delay function right after we add them to the map. Okay, So this way, this will set the timeout, because once we call delay, it will invoke this function over here. It's going to wait however many seconds we need to wait, and then it's going to remove them from the map. Okay, so before we do the last part, let me just show you how this works. Okay, so if I try to use it again, it's not going to work. So fun command is 10 seconds, so let's wait 10 seconds. Cooldown is expired fun command, so we can actually use it again because it deleted our ID from the map, which is the initial check to see if the user actually used the command. So since it's deleted, we can use the command again. Alright, but we want to display the amount of time left that the user has before they can use the command again. So what we're going to do is so here's the thing. So remember what I mentioned earlier, if you look over here, remember the user's ID inside the map of the command key the user's ID maps to the date and time that they invoke the command. So we need to grab that. So we're going to call it init. We're going to say command cooldown.get. We're going to get the appropriate command that they used, and we're going to get the value of the key, which is the author's ID. So this will get us the date object. Okay, we're going to create a new date object, which is the current date. This curve variable is going to represent the current date and time that the user invoked the command. Okay, and we're going to just subtract cur and init like that. So we're just like cur minus init, or actually we need to round this. Whoops, wait, and divide it by 1,000. Okay, and this is going to get us the amount of seconds. The amount of seconds that it's going to give us the difference between current and init, but it's not going to get us the actual time that we have left. It's going to get you the amount of time that that they waited to invoke the command again. So to get the difference, we need to subtract it with the cooldown, like the actual cooldown time, to get the amount of seconds left. Okay, so we're going to say let time equal commands.get command. Wait, yeah, it's commands. Get command, so that's going to get us the time, right? Because different cooldowns can have different commands can have different cooldown times. And we're going to go ahead and just say message the channel send. We're going to say time minus diff, seconds left for command. Okay, let's try this out now. Fun. Just like that. Alright, cool. Alright, awesome. Now let's do the same thing for misc. So let's say misc command. So obviously it's not just going to send a message, we're going to do other things. And all we're going to do is we're just going to do the same thing we did in fun. We're going to set their ID, which maps, we're going to set the key to an ID, to the author's ID, which maps to a date inside the map of whichever command that they invoked. And then we're going to call the delay function. Okay, so I can actually, let's see, misc is 20 seconds. So let's do fun, misc. Oh wait, I need to handle that over here. And that's going to be misc. Let's do fun, misc. So misc is going to be 19, fun is going to be that many. And of course I can add a couple other commands if I want. So let's do play, as well as cue. So let's say we have some music bot commands, that would be a good way to limit. And we're just going to do the same thing here. So if command is cue, or wait, if it's play, or if it's cue, do the same thing. And cue and play are 20 seconds. Okay, so let's do fun, Q. Oh, that's, I know. Okay, don't worry about that, but it works. Play and misc. So I do play. There we go, perfect. And obviously, if other users try to invoke the command, it's also going to work the same way for them as. Open up my other Discord account so I can show you. Alright, so I'm on my other account. So let's do misc right over here. Let's do misc over here. So for that account is 19, for this one is 14, etc. And if, see, let me actually do something real quick. Let me go ahead and go ahead and just do something real quick. Command cooldown, just so I can show you guys what it looks like. So let's do misc. Let's do misc again. And if you see our map, the misc key maps to its own map, and the map has a bunch of key value pairs, where the ID maps to the date that they invoke the command. And the reason why we're doing this is so that we can check how much seconds left we have for the command. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm probably gonna do a part 2 showing you guys how to do it using the command handler, but I wanted to do it without the command handler because I know not everyone uses a command handler. So it's good knowing how to do it both ways. But if you understand this whole tutorial, you should be able to implement it with the command handler with ease. Or it shouldn't be too hard at least, so it should be pretty easy. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Feel free to join my Discord server. Yeah, it's pretty active. Like I said, you can come on here, ask questions, talk about programming, ask for help, whatever it is. Yeah, so let's I'll see you guys in my next video.